Are you struggling to bridge the gap between Python and SQL databases? Do terms like cursors, commit, and DB API 2.0 confuse you during certification exams? In this video, we will cover Python database programming certification practice questions and explanations. Master Python database programming with this comprehensive practice test. In this comprehensive guide, we cover 30 essential Python database programming questions designed to mirror actual certification exams. We'll dive deep into SQLite, MySQL, PostgreSQL integration, and the fundamental principles of the Python DB API. Make sure to grab a notebook, because we are breaking down every explanation to ensure you pass your exam on the first try. Which of the following is the standard Python specification for database connectivity modules? Option A, Python DB Connect 1.0. Option B, PEP 249, DB API 2.0. Option C, SQL PY Standard 3.0. Option D, PEP 8 Database Extension. The correct answer is B. PEP 249, also known as the Python Database API Specification version 2.0, defines a consistent interface for Python modules that provide access to databases. By following this standard, developers can write code that is largely portable across different database backends, like SQLite, MySQL, or PostgreSQL. Because the core methods like connect, execute, and fetchall remain consistent across compliant drivers. Which method is used to create a session with the database and return a connection object? Option A, DB, start. Option B, SQLite 3, open. Option C, connect. Option D, driver, init. The correct answer is C. The connect function is the entry point for DB API 2.0 compliant modules. It establishes a communication channel with the database server, or a local file in the case of SQLite. It typically requires parameters such as host, user, password, and database name. Upon success, it returns a connection object which is used to manage transactions and create cursors. What is the result type of the fetchall method when executing a select statement? Option A, a dictionary of rows. Option B, a single tuple containing the first row. Option C, a list of tuples, where each tuple represents a row. Option D, a generator object. The correct answer is C. The fetchall method of a cursor object retrieves all remaining rows of a query result set. According to DB API 2.0, it must return a list, or similar sequence, of tuples. Each tuple represents a record, and the elements within the tuple correspond to the columns in the order they were selected. If no rows are available, it returns an empty list. Which of the following is the correct way to prevent SQL injection when executing a query in Python? Option A, using f-strings. Cursor, execute, f-select asterisk from users where id equals user underscore id. Option B, manually replacing single quotes in the input string. Option C, using parameterized queries. Cursor, execute, select asterisk from users where id equals single quote, user underscore id. Option D, converting the input to a string before concatenation. The correct answer is C. Parameterized queries, also known as prepared statements, are the gold standard for preventing SQL injection. by using placeholders like single quote for SQLite or %s for MySQL PostgreSQL, and passing the data as a separate tuple or dictionary. The database driver ensures that the user input is treated as data only, not as executable SQL code. Concatenating strings or using f-strings is extremely dangerous as it allows attackers to manipulate the SQL logic. What happens if you close a database connection without calling commit after performing an insert operation? Option A. The changes are automatically committed. Option B. The changes are rolled back, not saved. Option C. The database will throw a data loss error. Option D. The changes are cached and saved on the next connection. The correct answer is B. In Python DB API 2.0, connections are typically set to start a transaction automatically. If you modify data, insert, update, delete, and close the connection without explicitly calling connection commit, the database will generally roll back the changes to ensure data integrity. Always call commit to persist changes, or rollback if an error occurs during the transaction. Which object is responsible for executing SQL commands and managing the context of a fetch operation? Option A. The connection object. Option B. The database object. Option C. The cursor object. Option D. The session object. The correct answer is C. While the connection object manages the communication with the server, the cursor object is used to interact with the database. You create a cursor using connection, cursor, single quote. The cursor holds the state of the current query, allows you to call execute, and maintains the pointer for fetching rows from the result set. When using the SQLite 3-feet module, what is the special name used to create a database entirely in system memory? Option A, none. Option B, memory. Option C, temp, db. Option D, RAM://. The correct answer is B. SQLite allows you to create highly efficient, temporary databases in RAM by passing the string memory to the SQLite 3 connect method. This is useful for unit testing, temporary data processing, or caching where persistent storage on disk is not required. The database is destroyed as soon as the connection is closed. Which exception is specifically raised when a database integrity constraint is violated? E.g., a duplicate primary key. Option A, database error. Option B, data error. Option C, integrity error. Option D, operational error. The correct answer is C. Integrity error is a subclass of database error that is raised when the relational integrity of the database is affected. Common causes include failing a foreign key check, attempting to insert a duplicate value into a unique column, or violating a not null constraint. Handling this specific exception allows developers to provide clear feedback to users regarding data conflicts. What does the cursor row count attribute return after a select statement in most DB API implementations? Option A, the total number of rows in the table. Option B, the number of rows returned by the last query, often -1 if unknown. Option C, the number of columns in the result set. Option D, the size of the result set in bytes. The correct answer is B. The row count attribute is intended to show the number of rows that the last execute produced. For select or affected. For update, delete. However, for select statements, many drivers return -1 until all rows have been fetched because the driver doesn't necessarily know the total count until it reaches the end of the cursor. For update or delete, it accurately reflects the number of affected rows. Which method is most efficient for inserting multiple records into a database at once? Option A. Calling cursor. Execute. Inside a for loop. Option B. Cursor. Execute many. Option C. Cursor. Execute _ batch. Option D. Connection. Insert _ all. The correct answer is B. The execute many method is optimized for performance when running the same SQL command against a sequence of parameters. Instead of sending multiple individual requests to the database, execute many allows the driver to optimize the operation, often using internal batching, significantly reducing network overhead and improving execution speed for bulk inserts. Why is it recommended to use a context manager, the with statement, with database connections? Option A. It automatically executes commit on every statement. Option B. It ensures the connection is closed and resources are released even if an error occurs. Option C. It speeds up the SQL execution time. Option D. It encrypts the data being sent to the database. The correct answer is B. Using with context manager with database connections or cursors ensures that cleanup code is executed, while behavior varies slightly between libraries, like SQLite 3 versus PsychoPG 2. Generally, the context manager ensures that if an exception occurs, the transaction is handled appropriately and, most importantly, the connection is closed to prevent memory leaks and too many connections errors on the server. How does the Python DB API handle SQL null values? Option A. They are converted to empty strings. Single quote. Option B. They are converted to the integer 0. Option C. They are converted to the Python none object. Option D. They are skipped in the resulting tuple. The correct answer is C. In Python, the none object is used to represent the absence of a value, which maps perfectly to the SQL null concept. When fetching data, any column containing null will appear as none in the resulting Python tuple. Conversely, when inserting data, passing none in the parameter list will result in a null being stored in the database. Which method should you use if you only need the first row from a result set? Option A. Cursor.get_first. Option B. Cursor, fetch. Option C. Cursor, fetchone. Option D. Cursor, read. 1. The correct answer is C. The fetchone method retrieves the next single row of a query result set, returning a single tuple, or none if no more rows are available. Using fetchone is more memory efficient than fetchall if you only need one record, as it doesn't load the entire result set into Python's memory. What information does the cursor description attribute provide? Option A. A text description of the database table. Option B. Metadata about the columns in the result set. Name, type, etc. Option C. A log of all executed SQL commands. Option D. The version of the database driver. The correct answer is B. The description attribute is a read-only sequence of 7 item sequences. Each sequence contains information about one column in the result set. Name, type underscore code, display underscore size, internal underscore size, precision, scale, null underscore OK. This is extremely useful for dynamically discovering column names or generating reports where the schema is not known beforehand. How can you retrieve the ID of the last row inserted into an auto-incrementing column in SQLite? Option A. Cursor, listrawid. Option B. Cursor.get_id. Option C. Connection, inserted_id. Option D. Select max, id, from table. The correct answer is A. The listrawid attribute of the cursor object provides the row ID of the last inserted row. This is a DB API extension that is widely supported. It is safer and more efficient than running a separate select max id query, especially in multi-user environments where another user might insert a row immediately after you. Which of the following modules is the standard library for PostgreSQL in Python? Option A. pgpython. Option B. psycopg2. Option C. PostgreConnector. Option D. SQL Postgres. The correct answer is B. psycopg2 is the most popular PostgreSQL adapter for the Python programming language. It is a full implementation of the DB API 2.0 specification and is known for being thread-safe and highly efficient. While there is a newer psycopg 3 feet, psycopg 2 feet remains the industry standard for most legacy and current projects. In a transaction, what is the purpose of the rollback method? Option A. To undo the last fetch operation. Option B. To delete the database file. Option C. To revert all pending changes since the last commit. Option D. To restart the database server. The correct answer is C. Rollback is a crucial part of transaction management. If an error occurs during a sequence of multiple database operations, like moving money from one account to another, you call rollback to ensure that none of the partial changes are saved. This maintains the atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability, properties of the database. The DB API 2.0 defines different param style options. Which style uses named placeholders like name? Option A, QMark. Option B, numeric. Option C, named. Option D, format. The correct answer is C. The named parameter style uses placeholders like name or id. When using this style, you pass a dictionary to the execute method where the keys match the placeholder names. This makes SQL code more readable and less error-prone compared to positional placeholders like or %s, especially when dealing with many variables. Which command is used to install a database driver like MySQL connector? Option A. Python install MySQL connector. Option B. Pip install MySQL connector Python. Option C. Get MySQL driver. Option D. Import MySQL. The correct answer is B. External database drivers, those not in the standard library like SQLite 3, must be installed via pip, the Python package manager. For MySQL, MySQL Connector Python is the official Oracle-supported driver. Once installed, it can be imported into your script to establish connections. What is the correct order of closing database resources? Option A. Close connection, then close cursor. Option B. Close cursor, then close connection. Option C. It doesn't matter which one is closed first. Option D. Only the connection needs to be closed. The correct answer is B. The standard best practice is to close the cursor first, then the connection. Closing the cursor releases the result set and locks associated with the specific query, while closing the connection terminates the session with the database server. Most modern drivers will close open cursors when the connection is closed, but manual closure is better for resource management. Which Python object is used to represent SQL binary large objects, blobs? Option A. str. Option B. List. Option C. Bytes. Option D. IO-stringio. The correct answer is C. The bytes type in Python 3 is used to store raw binary data, such as images, PDFs, or encrypted files. When interacting with a database column of type blob, the Python DB API maps this data directly to and from bytes objects. Which attribute of a DB API module specifies the level of thread safety? Option A. Thread level. Option B. Thread safety. Option C is _thread safe. Option D. Concurrency _level. The correct answer is B. The thread safety constant is an integer defined in the module that tells you if it's safe to share the module, connection, or cursor across multiple threads. For example, 0 means no thread safety, while 2 means the module and connections are safe, but not cursors. Which SQL keyword is used to modify existing records in a database table through Python? Option A. Modify. Option B. Change. Option C. Update. Option D. Alter. The correct answer is C. The update statement is used in SQL to modify existing records. In Python, you would pass this string to cursor, execute. For example, update users set email equals, where it equals, single quote. Note that alter is used to change the structure of the table schema, not the data within it. What does cursor, fetchone, size equals 5, do? Option A. Fetches the next 5 rows from the result set. Option B. Fetches 5 columns from the first row. Option C. Retries the query 5 times if it fails. Option D. Fetches the first 5 rows and then closes the cursor. The correct answer is A. The fetchone method allows you to fetch a specific number of rows at a time. This is a middle ground between fetchone and fetchall. It is particularly useful when dealing with very large datasets where you want to process data in chunks. Pagination, to avoid overwhelming the system memory. Which module level constant indicates the version of the DB API specification supported? Option A. API_version. Option B. Version. Option C. API level. Option D. spec_version. The correct answer is C. The API level string constant is required by PEP 249. Currently, most modules will return 2.0. This allows code to verify that the driver being used supports the modern features defined in the second version of the Python database API. What is the base class for all exceptions raised by a DB API compliant module? Option A, exception. Option B, standard error. Option C, error. Option D, database error. The correct answer is C. According to PEP 249, error is the base class for all other database exceptions, like interface error and database error. This allows you to catch all database-related issues using a single except module error block while still being able to catch more specific issues if needed. Which module is included in the Python standard library for database operations? Option A, MySQL connector. Option B, PsychoPG2. Option C, SQLite 3. Option D, PyMongo. The correct answer is C. Python comes with the SQLite 3 feet module built in, meaning you don't need to install any external packages or a database server to start learning database programming. It is a lightweight, file-based database that is excellent for small applications and testing. When calling cursor, execute, how should you pass a single parameter to a query using the QMark style? Option A, cursor, execute, SQL, user_id. Option B, cursor, execute, SQL, user_id. Option C, cursor, execute, SQL, user_id. Option D, both B and C are acceptable. The correct answer is D. The second argument to execute must be a sequence, like a tuple or a list. If you are passing a single value in a tuple, you must include a trailing comma, val. Otherwise Python treats it as simple parentheses. However, many drivers also accept a list, val, single quote, making both B and C valid ways to pass parameters safely. How do you obtain a list of all table names in a SQLite database using Python? Option A, cursor.get_tables. Option B, connection, inspect. Option C, cursor, execute. Select name from SQLite_master where type equals table. Option D, select asterisk from schema. The correct answer is C. SQLite maintains a special table called SQLite_master or SQLite_schema in newer versions that stores the database schema. By querying this table where type is table, you can programmatically list all tables. Other databases like MySQL or PostgreSQL use an information_schema for similar metadata queries. What is the primary advantage of using transactions in database programming? Option A, they make the code run faster. Option B, they ensure that a group of SQL statements either all succeed or all fail. Option C, they automatically format the SQL code. Option D, they allow multiple users to edit the same row simultaneously. The correct answer is B. Transactions provide atomicity. This means that even if a script crashes or the power goes out halfway through a series of related updates, the database remains in a consistent state because the partial changes were not committed. This is essential for financial and inventory systems where data accuracy is non-negotiable. That wraps up our 30-question deep dive into Python database programming. How many did you get right? If you struggled with the transaction management or parameterization questions, don't worry. Those are the toughest parts of the exam. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more certification prep content. It really helps the channel grow. For the full 500+ question bank and mock exams, check the link in the description below.